All right, welcome back. On this episode, we're going to change it up a little bit. We're going to do a pre-draft breakdown of some linemen. Today, we're going to focus on Caleb Lomu. He's a left tackle from Utah, number 71. He's entering this draft as a redshirt sophomore. He was a two-year starter at Utah, a first-team All-Big 12 in 2025. He's a big, athletic offensive lineman. He's 6'6", 313 pounds, ran a sub 540. Somebody who I view as very versatile, a huge asset to a team. Carries a lot of value to him because he can play tackle. He's got the length and athleticism to play outside, but he also, in my opinion, could play inside too, right? Whether that's guard or center. That's not up for me to make that decision, but I think the more positions you can play, the more valuable you are. As always, if you're liking these videos, please like, comment, share, repost. I'll try my best to get back to all that stuff. I really appreciate it. And also look out for some merch drops as those will be coming soon.
We the one that came to turn the city up. We the ones that got it on our backs now. We the one that took it to 100. If you want to come and get it back now.
All right, let's roll the tape. Okay, so he's playing left tackle. We'll quickly watch it from this view and then change the angle and just focus on him. This is them playing Wyoming. There's an inside run, looks like inside zone to the right that cuts back. I'll let the offense and defense get set, and then we'll pause it and talk about it real quick. Good. All right, so we're just going to be focusing on number 71 throughout this whole cut up. Okay, just watching him in a variety of different schemes and kind of critiquing him and evaluating him as we go. All right, so watching number 71, okay, he's going to end up blocking this defensive end who now came down into this 4-eye position down here. He does a really, really good job of playing with power. I love how he continues to drive his feet. Continues to create movement, right? And we'll see here once I start the tape how he's able to displace him off the ball. Good. If we'll watch it a few times, but even right here, he finishes with big pancake, right? So that just shows how he has a drive to finish people, right? He's looking to finish. He's looking to play physical, be dominant at the point of attack, right? So really good stuff here by Caleb. Start that over. All right. The left tackle. Big pancake block. He gets a little help from his guard, gets a little help from the tight end next to him, but he continues to drive his feet, and he's the one that's working to finish with his body on top of the other guy. Boom. All right. Big pancake block on a big run. All right. So really cool stuff. Obviously, you want to see your offensive linemen have the desire to finish, play physical, right? And he's showing this very first clip, right? Playing with strength. Let's watch how he enters the block, right? Pretty good job with his pad level and his feet, continues to drive. He's playing with tight elbows, right? Really good job with his hand placement, continue to drive. Nice work. Just one more time, right? He's on the backside here, looks like inside zone. Going to the right, that ends up playing back, playing against a 4-eye, not an easy situation to be in, but he enters the block with strength and a good base, and he's able to keep on driving him vertically off the ball. Awesome, right? So even in the first play, you can see how he can play physical. He can see how he can, has good bend into his blocks and plays with tight elbows, right? So already you can see some impressive stuff from him. Now we're going to change it up, go to a little pass pro action here. Have to be able to do everything. And he's shown that he can definitely be a very, very good pass protector. Good. So we'll watch it from the other angle, but this is a good example of him passing off a twist here, right? They're going to get a stunt. He does a good job of being able to get back into a good upper body position, through his athleticism when he kind of gets leany here, right? You see him leaning, now he's able to get back into it. That just goes to show me that he's got a very, very high ceiling when it comes to, being an athlete, right? So Let's watch this again. We'll start it over. Okay, so we're talking about the left tackle, right? He's in a one-on-one situation, but they're going to be going against a twist here. Okay, and he does a good job of shutting off the penetrator, right? Staying square, shutting off that penetrator, being physical on him, but then getting his body back up and his feet moving. So now he ends up in this position here, right? After passing off the defense end to the guard, right? So really cool stuff here. And if I was NFL team looking for an offensive lineman that is athletic, right? This is a great example of, hey, maybe not in the best situation right here with his body, right? We could work on this. We can work on staying up a little bit more, right? Being more physical with our hands without leaning on it. But to be able to get into that situation and then end up, getting yourself back up and moving your feet and ending up in a very, very good position here, right? I love to see that. And that's an asset not a lot of linemen have. I love how he's always trying to play with length too in pass protection. Clip after clip, you'll see him. He's working to get his hands on people, working to get their hands off of him, and he always ends up with separation between him and the defensive lineman. Right. So one more time, left tackle. Okay, gonna get inside penetration here with a loop around. Right, he does a good job of shutting off the inside move and then setting back square to be able to collect the looper. Boom. Good. Great job. Working for separation. All right, so great example of athleticism it takes to play tackle at the next level. All right, so throughout this cut up, we're going to see a lot of examples of some of those things I mentioned earlier. Right, being athletic, being powerful, being versatile in the schemes that he can run, and also who he is as a player. Right here we got a down block in a gap scheme play. This is a GT counter, right? He does a great job of creating a huge running lane. Watch it one time. Good. All right. So left tackle right here. Field goal post is kind of in the way of the defender, so we don't have a great view of it, but he's got a down block right here on this defender. Watch how much room he creates in this B gap, right? And that's because of how he fires off the ball, his pad level, entering the block with a good base, right? Being physical. Look how tight his hands are. He's washing them all the way down, right? And he's creating this huge running lane between him, and all of our pullers and everything over here, our running back and our pullers. Okay, so great job by him creating that displacement. Right now, why did he create that displacement? Right? Why was the left tackle able to get 4 yards of horizontal displacement on a gap scheme? And to me, that all goes with how he entered the block. That position, I wish this field goal post wasn't here, but he's entering the block in a very, very athletic and powerful position. He continues to move his feet. Okay? Continues to drive, playing with tight elbows. You can see that all the time when he's entering these blocks. He's playing with tight hands, tight elbows, playing in a powerful position, right? And he's not getting help here from his guard. It's just a solo down block. Right? He does a really, really good job of creating space, creating a running lane, being physical on a big run. Great job. So another example of him, having strength and power, being explosive at the point of contact, right? Continuing to drive his feet, playing with good technique, going against, another good opponent here, playing against Cincinnati, not Seattle, Cincinnati, right? He's driving him down. Good, so you could see him doing this at tackle, he could be doing this at guard, center, doesn't matter, right? I think he's the type of player that can play everywhere and be very successful everywhere. Right, we just saw, center get paid huge this offseason, right? That's because, it used to be a thing where just the tackles were very valuable, but now teams are learning we need to have good players everywhere to be successful, right? We need to have dominant offensive linemen all across the board, right? And he's someone that could play all 5 and excel at all 5 and be, a premier guy. Awesome. All right. Now we got another pass protection clip. This one's versus BYU. All right, he's going to end up blocking kind of a smaller guy coming off the edge, but I just love his athleticism, kicking back, right? Being patient, not overextending, even though he may be going against somebody who's quicker than him or faster than him. He does a great job of staying calm, allowing his feet to get him in the right place and his hands to do the work. Actually, before we even talk about it, let's just watch it one time. All right, we see pressure coming off the edge. Good. All right. Left tackle right here, all eyes on him. Okay, really good job here of setting back, under control, and patient and calm as we get this edge threat right here, right? Sometimes it really feels like we want to jump way out there, okay? But he does a good job. As I roll the tape, you'll see him being patient and calm through his lower body, right? And then creating that separation, right? Seems like play after play after play, he's ending up in this position here, right? Whether he starts in that position or he gets knocked out of it, he always ends up back in this position, like creating that separation. He's got good knee bend, got a flat back, right? So all those things that we talk about when we're working our fundamentals, right? They're coming to life here in his film. So obviously he's very smart, right? He works hard, pays attention in meetings. So this is really cool to see. And if you watch his film, it's play after play after play with him. With a big catch. So, right. One more time. Left tackle here, kicking out the block. The edge threat, smaller guy, quicker guy. He's not panicked, under control, right? Gets his hands on him, ends up getting the separation, does a really good job. Nice looking kick, boom. Awesome. All right, so another example of him in pass protection. That time ended up going against a smaller guy, quicker guy, and he ends up doing just fine. He's got the athleticism to keep up with the best of them. This last clip is really cool. This is another example of how athletic he is. All right, they're using him as a puller all the way around to the right side of the offense, and he gets downfield, gets on his guy, right? Really good job by him. Right, that's our guy right there, number 71, all the way downfield. Man, if this guy would have just set it up, gone that way, good night, it might be touchdown. But regardless, doesn't matter. All right. Great finish too by him. Continue to work all the way down the field. Uh-oh. What's going on here? All right, let's watch it one more time. All right. Cool, so we have our left tackle here. He's going to end up pulling, right? He's going to kind of read that left guard's block who's also pulling. He ends up adjusting and going around all of it, right? Really good job by him to open up, to run, play with speed, get on his guy, look to finish as we get downfield, right? He's able to block in space. That's what I love about this clip, right? Skip pulls, gets around it. Now he's in space against a small defensive back, gets on him, right? And he's continuing to work to finish, right? Here he is, continue to work to finish the block, right? All the way out of bounds. All right, let's watch that again, okay? Not a lot of offensive linemen, left tackles, can pull from that position, right? End up blocking the safety over here, right? Before the quarterback, he does a great job playing with speed, playing in open space, right? Loses ground initially, gets around all of that, makes his read, boom, gets on his guy. Great looking play. Good. All right. So those were 5 different plays we watched. Just watching Caleb Lomu, showed a lot of different things from his power and his strength and his desire to finish and be physical, to his athleticism and his finesse and his ability to be light on his feet and to be patient and be calm and use his hands in pass protection, to opening up and running and playing in space. Right, so although that was just 5 clips, if you watch his film, these things show up over and over and over again, right? So he's very detailed, very smart player that can take the coaching from the film room and apply it to the field, right? Take the coaching from individual and apply it to team drills. So really impressive player. I think he has a really bright future. We're going to continue doing some of these breakdowns. We got some more players coming. I appreciate you guys watching. Until next time.